Welcome to another episode of Preparing for the Unexpected. I'm your host, Alex Fullick, and as always, we like to talk about things related to supply chain management, resilience, business continuity, disaster planning, anything that helps you, your organization, or your community prepare for, respond to, and overcome adverse situations. If you'd like to be a guest on the show, please feel free. You can find me on LinkedIn. I am the only Alex Fullick there. I'm really easy to find, and I do respond to everything I get. Today, we're going to be talking about supply chain resiliency. And I'd like to welcome back for her second appearance on the show, Zera Zheng. Zera, welcome back.
Thank you, Alex. It's very nice to be back again. Thank you, everyone, for watching Alex program here.
And Zera and I were touching base at the recent BCI World Conference and said, hey, why don't we have another chat? And hence, here you are.
Thank you very much. And also, it's very pleasure this time we can focus on the topic of supply chain resilience. And that's the topic I'm passionate about. Also, hopefully, the entire program, also within the hours, we can also expect that the discussions we have here could bring some inspirations into you.
I hope so. I know the last time we chatted, we had an interesting conversation on the show. So I'm sure this one will be another interesting one. So why don't we jump right into it?
Super.
So what is your understanding of supply chain resilience?
Yes, and actually, my understanding about the supply chain resilience isn't about maintaining the flow of goods and services despite disruptions. It's the ability to adapt and also recover quickly, whether the challenge is a certain geopolitical events, a nature disaster, or any other foreseen risk. So that's my understanding about the supply chain resilience.
We, excuse me, we've seen major disruptions like the pandemic, the Red Sea blockages, which is actually something you and I talked about on our last episode. Extreme weather and strikes gaining significant attention, pushing resilience to the forefront of business priorities. Yet we faced big risks in the past: tsunamis, volcanic eruptions, strikes, SARS, earthquakes. What's shifted to make resilience such a critical focus today?
Mm. Well, I personally feel that the difference lies in the increasing frequency and also the complexity of the risks, largely driven by the interconnectivities. The globalization has made the supply chains more efficient, but also fragile in the past. For instance, a strike today isn't just a localized labor issue. It also can be influenced by the factors like elections or trade disputes. Similarly, and also like tariffs, and that are now used as a geopolitical tools, and the regional conflicts also have a far-reaching impact due to the strategic importance of a certain trade routes. So these complexity amplifies the potential of disruptions, making resilience more important than ever.
You meant, excuse me, you mentioned tariffs and a couple of other items. Is it, does it seem that I don't want to say everyday items, but things that we're normally used to as a part of
Mm.
our business operations are being politicized due to this year having so many elections that now the supply chain has even more uncertainty?
I would say partially yes, because definitely the election result will also determine the political landscape moving forward, right? And this is definitely will also shape the trade and also the economics moving forward for the especially for the countries. So we do see there's a big impact on the futures and economics and also trade. But on the other side, if you think about globally, what's the mega trend that happening is a kind of a ideology shift at the moment. So in the past, actually, we are talking a lot about the globalizations and the inclusive, and actually this is promoting these or focusing on the supply chain efficiency. However, now actually these trade or tariff and is you also see that it has been used as a kind of a geopolitical tools. So, and also to achieve or let's say focus on the national security and the national interest. So these kind of ideology shifts actually also changing the entire business landscape nowadays. So that's also one of the reasons back to your previous questions. I think why resilience now is getting more important because the world we are facing now is not only focusing on the efficiency. Efficiency itself is not good enough. It's also about how the business can survive and also to achieve both its resilience and the efficiency.
It's interesting you said efficiency isn't good enough anymore.
Mm.
Why? Because that for so long, that's what we were pushing, right? Being efficient, managing our inventories and making sure we had just enough to what is it? Just in time. That's what I was trying to think of.
Yeah,
Just in
yeah.
time supply chains and and we were, let's say, hopefully, quite efficient at that. And now that's
Mm,
really good at something isn't good enough.
yeah. I think that's also questions that has been asked by many business and also the individuals as well. So if I think the supply chain efficiency, like to be honest, what for example, so like what Tim Cook achieved for Apple, was a very competitive advantage for the business. However, because today's business landscape has been changed, like what I shared, we are facing more complicated risk, and because the risk is now interconnected by these geopolitical factors and also economic situations. So it's no longer, even for the strike, the examples I gave earlier, it will not just be a simple strike. It can be affected by multiple factors. So all these things actually make the risk predictions is more difficult, which means more uncertainty to the business and also to the organizations. Actually, for the business, and now the critical task for them is not exactly to just achieve the efficiency, but more think about how to survival first. So if you want to survive, then you should not just look at it, how to optimize your speed, how to optimize your cost, but actually to ensure that your business, your supply chain can withstand and adapt to the disruptions. So that becomes the key point. Actually, this is not just my view. So it also has been evidenced by investors as well. For example, so like Goldman Sachs also has suggested that a future investment will favor resilient companies over those they are merely efficient. So this is also give us the signal. So what's the decades? What's the next decades? We probably look at how we um, assess what a good business looks like. It's not will not be just efficient. It will be efficiency or resilience alongside with efficiency.
Is this for just for large companies? Because it seems there's so much more to consider now that it feels like it's beyond the capacity of
Mm.
smaller or even medium-sized organizations to really get a handle on. So is this just an issue that large organizations need to focus on?
I don't think so, to be honest, because of these the business landscapes change, and actually, in some degrees, I think that's create a unique opportunity for the small companies. And if you think about if we are in the older time, purely focus on efficiency, who actually more easy to achieve the scalability and the efficiency? That will be the large company. Nowadays, because of these, volatile the business environment and also a lot of uncertainty, in some degrees, of course, this brings the threats, but meanwhile also brings a lot of opportunity. And especially, I would say, if you think about the ideology, I just mentioned the shift now toward these national interests and national security. Actually, this is also give a lot of local business to have the chances to really compete with these global organizations because of they are more focused, they have a more advantage to do the business within the country, within the region. So that's also I see that if the a business actually can take advantage, and also most important to really establish their own business resilience and to make themselves quickly adaptable to the changes that are happening in their business environment, then they will have the unique advantage.
So is it easier for small and medium-sized business to manage supply chains then? I'm not
I,
putting you
I
on the
was
spot with a yes or a no, but
Yeah, I would say it's not easier for small business, but also not easier for big business. I think in terms of I would say they actually facing the different challenges in my view. For the large business, because of the older patterns, and they have, also they enjoy the scalabilities and they have the globalizations. They have to achieve the efficiency and nowadays, and they actually also for the bigger organization, they have to change their mindset to introduce some resilience into their supply chain design. So, which means they probably, no matter the organization set up themselves and also the strategy they set for the supply chain, they actually have to see revisiting and also to adjust it to the new world, the new landscape. For the smaller business, also I see there's a challenges is whether they could be fast enough, and also is about how efficient they can take advantage of their setup, their networking to quickly adapt to the new changes and new things. So I think for the global organizations, the benefit is because they're running their operations globally, so they can actually more efficiently to get these lessons learned. And meanwhile, they are also in many cases, they will be faster to acquire this information, the first-hand intelligence about the market change, all this stuff. So that's their benefit. For the smaller companies, actually, I think it might be some, I would say, weakness. It's not necessary to be every small business, but in many small business, to many small business, that might be some disadvantage to efficiently or timely capture the market change. But the benefit for them is because their size, their scale is relatively small. So compared to the bigger organizations, it's faster, maybe faster in the actions. So that could be the point that they still can achieve a very unique advantage compared to when they compete with the bigger organizations.
how do you see technology playing a role in this?
I feel that actually technology definitely can help in achieving the efficiency. For example, also I already noticed a lot of solutions, resilience solutions available in the market. For example, the risk intelligence provision. Actually, a lot of companies, a lot of solutions in the market already using the AI, using the data minings, using different technologies and to help organizations and more efficient to collect the risk information and keep them updated. So actually, I see that it has been introduced. And meanwhile, also I noticed, for example, so like a digital twin, actually also has been started gradually introduced in the crisis drills or testing to help organizations and to make a better decisions because one of the challenges we see in the crisis is you make the decisions, but you don't really know that what are the cost, how the other options looks like, whether the other options are also good or not. So this part of the things actually we don't really know. But now with these technology, digital twin things, then actually you can, in some degrees, and to assess, amongst all the options that you can have. So I think that's definitely will help. But on the other side, I still see that the human interviews is still important. Actually, no matter what kind of informations you get, is even for the risk intelligence you get from these digital tools, it's just currently it just still depends on humans to make the decisions and also to evaluate the information you received and to assess, okay, how these risks will affect your business. so far, these human involvement cannot be replaced by these technologies. So I would say the influence by the technology, the contributions by the technology is increased, that's for sure, but still we can't completely get rid of the human interference in that area.
Yeah, I agree with that because sometimes you still have people who see results coming from AI or data
Yes,
mining. It's just information. It's just sitting there. It doesn't make the
yes.
decisions about it. And some people see the results and think, there's our decision, and then can blame later on when something goes wrong, blame it on technology rather than the actual decisions and based on the information they had at that time. You know,
Yeah, exactly.
perfectly wrong.
Yeah, I do see that usually for these risk information providers, they use the data mining, so AI, to make them more efficient, like to collect the information from the social media, from the internet, which is good, which helps a lot of organizations to monitor the risk globally and also in a very efficient way. However, the informations that they collected still rely on people to verify because there's also a lot of false news and for social medias, especially some of the informations reported by the medias, sometimes also bears the bias. And also for the medias itself, and maybe they want to, attract the more clicks, and then it could be kind of an, I would say, using some extreme words or these things to attract the followers.
Yeah.
But for business, actually, all the decisions should be based on I would say, actually should be based on the facts. So important is for no matter the supply chain leaders or these information consumers to still able to digest the informations and have the capability to verify whether this information is the truth or not, and most important, to evaluate how these risk informations will or these risk affect your business. So these relevance part is more important, and still I see that highly depend on humans and peoples involved in the supply chains to assess that.
And on that note, we've come to the end of our first segment. Today, we are talking about supply chain resilience with Zera Zheng, and we will be right back. If you like that video, thumbs up. If you didn't like that video, thumbs down. But leave me a message and let me know your thoughts. Of course, don't forget to subscribe. And in the meantime, stay prepared, everybody.